the two most harmful vitamins for weakening legs after turning 60. If you've noticed your legs feeling more tired, heavier, or sore, or if simple things like standing for long periods, walking, or going upstairs are starting to get difficult, pay close attention. This could be a warning sign. What I'm about to explain in this video may surprise you and help you understand exactly why this is happening. Some foods that seem harmless, two vitamins commonly believed to be healthy, and a mix of certain elements could be silently reducing your leg strength. Believe it or not, the same vitamins often recommended for better health might be weakening your muscles, putting pressure on your joints, and making your legs feel unstable, sore, and vulnerable. The most alarming part? These threats are part of your daily habits. Every drink and every bite could be quietly feeding the weakness you feel. But it doesn't end there. The two vitamins you might be taking right now could truly shock you. You likely buy them thinking they protect your body, support your health, and make your bones stronger. Yet, they might be speeding up muscle loss and undermining your leg strength. This video will expose the truth about these supplements and foods, so you can finally understand what's really causing the fatigue, swelling, stiffness, and pain you experience again and again. Most importantly, you'll learn what to stay away from and what changes to make starting today to regain your strength, energy, and independence. Do you want to keep your legs strong for many more years and grow older in good health? Then stay with me until the end. 15. Sugary foods and desserts. While desserts and sweet treats have always been associated with pleasure and comfort, after age 60, they can become a hidden threat to your legs. Eating too much processed sugar triggers inflammation throughout the body, especially in your joints and muscles. Long-term inflammation makes your legs more sensitive, painful, and likely to weaken. Plus, sugar increases insulin resistance, which drains your muscle energy. When muscles don't get enough fuel, they grow weaker and less functional. Eating a lot of sugar also leads to weight gain, which adds extra strain on your legs. Every extra pound means your lower body has to work harder, creating more wear, more pain, and a greater feeling of weakness. For older adults who naturally lose muscle over time, this is even more serious. Sugar also boosts the production of toxins in your body, worsening inflammation and weakening your legs even more. The more inflammation, the harder it becomes to keep your legs strong and stable. Did you know sugar also affects your circulation? Consuming it excessively raises the risk of blood flow problems in your legs. When blood doesn't circulate properly, muscles receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients. That slows healing and makes it harder to keep muscle strength. What seems like an innocent dessert might be silently taking a toll on your health. On top of all that, sugary treats lack the nutrients your muscles need, like protein and magnesium. In other words, you're consuming empty calories that take away from your body instead of helping it. With age, a diet like this speeds up the loss of muscle mass, one of the biggest enemies of mobility. If your legs are starting to feel weaker, the reason might be as simple as a cookie or a slice of pie. What looks like a harmless pleasure may actually be draining your strength and independence. And most packaged sweets are also full of additives like artificial colors and preservatives, which further increase inflammation. These chemicals throw off your body's balance and directly impact your muscle system. When combined with sugar, they create a dangerous formula for leg weakness. Already making the switch from these sweets to natural options like cinnamon on fruit or homemade desserts with less sugar is a great start. Of course, enjoying a treat now and then is still fine, as long as the choices you make support your health. Both your taste buds and your legs will be thankful. 14. Fried foods. French fries might be irresistible, but the damage they inflict on the body past 60 shouldn't be ignored. Loaded with trans and saturated fats, fried foods raise inflammation levels in the body. This ongoing inflammation directly affects muscles and joints, leading to stiffer legs, increased soreness, and a higher chance of injury. The fats in fried items also disrupt blood flow, which makes it harder for muscles to receive oxygen. Without proper circulation, the body's ability to repair and gain strength is reduced. Another issue is that fried fats can clog arteries, limiting the delivery of essential nutrients to your leg muscles. Over time, this process weakens your body's structure and accelerates joint deterioration. Foods like donuts, chicken nuggets, and fries are major culprits. Before we go on, I want to know you're here with me. Leave a comment below and feel free to ask any question you may have. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the best health tips from Senior Health. If you're watching right now, let me know you're present. Comment 1 if this video speaks to you. If it doesn't, type 0. When consumed regularly, fried foods put serious pressure on your bones and blood vessels. The taste is not worth the cost to your well-being. Have you ever noticed your legs feel heavier or sore after eating a fried meal? That's your body reacting to an overload of unhealthy fats. These meals take a long time to digest, using up a lot of energy that could otherwise fuel your muscles. That's one reason leg fatigue can follow a fried food-heavy meal. Also, frequent intake of fried items is linked to weight gain, adding more stress to your lower body. It's a hard habit to kick. On top of that, fried foods offer very little in terms of nutrition, low in vitamins, minerals, and proteins that are vital for muscle strength. A diet dominated by fried items creates a nutritional imbalance that accelerates muscle loss. Less muscle mass means the legs lose firmness and control. This impacts your ability to walk confidently, climb stairs, or carry weight safely. Giving up fried foods is one of the simple, powerful changes you can make to protect your mobility and stay independent. Choosing better cooking methods instead of frying will help save your legs. 13. White bread. Although commonly eaten for breakfast and snacks, white bread's effect on the body, especially after 60, is far from harmless. It's made from refined flour, which strips away most of its fiber and vital nutrients. As a result, it becomes a fast-digesting carb that causes rapid blood sugar increases. These surges negatively affect muscles, particularly in the legs, resulting in tiredness and weakness. When consumed often, it leads to a metabolic imbalance. Due to its high glycemic index and low fiber, white bread contributes to insulin resistance. That makes it harder for glucose to enter your muscle cells, reducing the energy needed for everyday movements. Without enough fuel, muscles can't maintain their strength, which often leads to muscle loss, a common issue as people age. In that sense, white bread becomes more than just a neutral food. It becomes a trigger for discomfort. The problems don't stop at blood sugar. White bread lacks protein and minerals, so it doesn't aid in muscle repair or growth. Older adults actually need more protein to fight off sarcopenia, the gradual muscle loss tied to aging. Relying on white bread while ignoring other protein sources drains the body little by little with each meal. That's how it leads to legs that feel weak, fatigued, and unstable. Worse yet, white bread promotes weight gain, especially when eaten with butter, cheese, or sugary spreads. Excess body weight places additional strain on the legs, which are already naturally more delicate with age. This leads to discomfort, swelling, and a greater possibility of injury. Instead of helping, white bread actually reduces mobility. Each slice might seem harmless, but it's the accumulation of unhealthy food choices that causes the most damage. The good news is that there are far more nutritious and beneficial alternatives. Whole grain breads, especially those that are naturally fermented or made from grains like oats, flaxseed, and rye, offer essential fibers and nutrients. These choices indirectly support muscle health, improve digestion, and help regulate blood sugar. When paired with proteins and healthy fats such as eggs or avocado, they make up balanced, nourishing meals. You don't have to eliminate bread, just choose smarter options. Still, in this video, we'll reveal the 2 worst vitamins that can harm your legs. 12. As we age, particularly when it comes to the health of our muscles and joints, drinking alcohol becomes more risky. After 60, the body processes alcohol less effectively, making its negative effects even stronger. One major impact is the difficulty in absorbing key minerals like calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. Without these, muscles weaken and bones become more fragile, increasing the chance of fractures or falls. Alcohol also slows muscle healing, meaning the body takes longer to recover after any physical activity. This results in prolonged soreness, tiredness, and greater risk of injury. Alcohol also dehydrates the body, reducing muscle flexibility and triggering unpleasant cramps in the legs. Additionally, it affects liver function, which is important for producing compounds essential to tissue health. Alcohol is also closely tied to weight gain. It's packed with calories and tends to promote abdominal fat, even when consumed in moderate amounts. This added weight puts pressure on the legs and forces the joints to work harder, making movement more difficult. Combined with the natural loss of muscle mass over time, the result can be a serious decline in mobility and quality of life. Have you ever noticed you wake up sore or more fatigued after drinking? That's your body reacting to the stress alcohol places on muscles and joints. Drinking regularly also raises inflammation levels in the body, which worsens pain and lowers motivation to stay active. Over time, this significantly reduces your ability to stay healthy and mobile. And soon, I'll reveal the 2 vitamins that can actually weaken your legs. 11. Many people include processed meats in their diet because of their convenience, but they hide serious risks to leg health, especially as we get older. Meats like bacon, ham, and sausages are loaded with salt and chemical additives that trigger chronic inflammation. This type of inflammation affects joints and causes persistent discomfort in the leg muscles, knees, and ankles. These foods might be behind the stiffness you feel when you wake up. Processed meats are also high in saturated fat, which lowers blood flow to the muscles, raises bad cholesterol, and weakens circulation. Poor blood supply deprives the leg muscles of nutrients and oxygen, slowing down their recovery and maintenance. The result is progressive weakness in the lower limbs, which eventually limits even simple everyday movements. On top of this, processed meats contribute to toxin buildup in the body, overburdening the liver and kidneys. These organs play a crucial role in eliminating waste, and when overwhelmed, toxins accumulate and cause muscle fatigue. Preservatives in processed meats have also been found to disrupt how the body uses sugar, which reduces the energy available to muscles. Once again, the effect is most noticeable in the legs, through constant heaviness and tiredness. While older adults often choose these foods for their convenience, paying close attention to nutrition is even more important at this stage of life. When it comes to giving up quality of life, the ease might come at a high cost. Picking nutritious proteins such as eggs, poultry, fish, and lean beef is a fundamental step in preserving muscle strength and overall health. Simple swaps can create major changes. Replace bacon with avocado or olive oil, swap sausage for boiled eggs, and use shredded chicken breast instead of ham. The body starts adapting to these new choices. The legs begin to feel lighter and more energized. Between flavor and freedom, between enjoyment and longevity, it's a worthwhile trade. Although they might seem like the perfect solution for those seeking convenience, instant noodles raise serious concerns for the body, especially after 60. Mostly made from refined flour and filled with synthetic additives, they bring very little nutritional value. This fast option ends up being a high-calorie food low in fiber, protein, and essential nutrients that are key to preserving muscle mass. Over time, this kind of eating directly leads to muscle loss and mobility issues. One of the biggest problems with instant noodles is their extremely high sodium content. Just one portion might offer over half of the recommended daily salt intake. Too much sodium leads to fluid buildup, which makes the legs swell and feel sore. It also increases blood pressure, interfering with proper circulation to the muscles. Inadequate blood flow leaves muscle tissue undernourished, making it weaker and slower to recover. Another worrying aspect lies in the flavoring packets, which contain chemical additives. Preservatives, colorings, and monosodium glutamate are often linked to long-term inflammation. Even when mild, inflammation affects joint function and speeds up muscle damage. In the end, this results in more frequent stiffness, pain, and movement limitations for those who regularly eat this type of food. The metabolic impact is also quite significant. Because they lack fiber, these noodles have a high glycemic index, which causes blood sugar spikes. Fluctuating glucose levels disrupt insulin activity, preventing muscles from efficiently using energy. Without steady energy intake, muscles become weak and tire quickly. A poor diet like this can turn a short walk to the store into a tiring effort. 9. While they smell like childhood and taste like happiness, factory-made cakes hide ingredients that seriously damage leg health, especially during older age. Loaded with refined sugars, hydrogenated fats, and artificial preservatives, these foods disturb metabolism and increase inflammation in the body. High sugar content interferes with insulin function and supports fat buildup. This doesn't just lead to excess weight, it also creates a metabolic state that makes it harder to maintain muscle strength. Another critical issue is the inclusion of trans fats, which are used to extend shelf life and improve flavor. These fats lower HDL, good, cholesterol and raise LDL, bad, cholesterol, damaging blood circulation. Poor blood flow deprives leg muscles of oxygen and nutrients, causing them to weaken over time. This can eventually lead to muscle mass loss, stiff joints, and difficulties with movement. Eating these industrial cakes regularly is also associated with chronic inflammation, one of the leading causes of muscle fatigue and joint pain. Additives like emulsifiers, stabilizers, and artificial dyes can interfere with immune function and trigger inflammatory reactions, often targeting the joints in the legs. This results in more discomfort, less mobility, and a cycle of inactivity that accelerates muscle degeneration. Though tempting, these cakes offer very low nutritional value. In other words, they are full of empty calories while lacking essential nutrients like protein, calcium, and magnesium, nutrients crucial for muscle and bone health. Consuming this kind of food often is like fueling your body with contaminated fuel. In this case, your muscles are the engine, and they won't respond the same. Instead, they show signs of malfunction, exhaustion, and sluggishness. Often, the ease of eating meals leads us to make impulsive choices. Preparing homemade cakes with entire flours, fruits, and natural oils can be just as simple as buying a prepackaged item. Yet, the difference lies in the impact this decision will have on your health in the medium and long term. Your muscles will benefit from improved tone, energy, and resilience as you begin retraining your taste preferences. While they may appear convenient and tasty, ultra-processed cheeses such as spreads, packaged slices, and melted varieties hide serious dangers for individuals who want to preserve leg strength after age 60. Rich in sodium and saturated fats, these products negatively affect both the muscular and circulatory systems. Sodium encourages water retention and heightens blood pressure. Saturated fats reduce the elasticity of blood vessels, which in turn harms circulation. This combination makes your legs feel swollen, heavy, and more uncomfortable. In addition, ultra-processed cheeses often contain additives like preservatives and phosphates, which interfere with the body's mineral equilibrium. Two minerals crucial for muscle contraction and bone strength, calcium and magnesium, are directly influenced. Poor absorption of these nutrients can lead to muscle fatigue, joint aches, and even nighttime leg cramps. Because leg muscles are large and constantly active, they're the first to exhibit signs of trouble. Another key point is that these types of cheese lack high-quality proteins. Unlike traditional cheeses that retain their natural nutrients, the ultra-processed ones go through procedures that diminish their nutritional value. This means that even though you're consuming calories, your body isn't receiving the amino acids it needs to support muscle tissue. Muscle loss is one of the major reasons for reduced mobility and increased dependence with age. Have you ever noticed that after eating processed food, your body feels sluggish and less motivated? This sensation is real and caused by the inflammatory and mineral-depleting properties of such items. Over time, a lack of essential nutrients weakens bones and decreases muscle performance. Simple walks become harder than they should be, and once easy steps start to feel like obstacles. And it all might come down to the kind of cheese you choose for your toast. A better option for staying healthy is to switch these out for fresher, minimally processed cheeses like ricotta, cottage, or cream cheese. And remember, the biggest revelation of this video is just around the corner. Still to come are the 2 worst vitamins for your legs. 7th, despite being one of the most popular choices on hot days or for dessert, industrial ice creams are a major threat to leg health after 60. These products are extremely high in calories and promote inflammation due to their saturated fat content and large amounts of refined sugar. This type of food spikes blood glucose levels, followed by rapid declines that destabilize muscular energy. This imbalance causes the legs to feel tired, heavy, and more prone to fatigue. Ice creams, especially low-quality ones, have saturated fat that harms the cardiovascular system. Oxygen-rich blood struggles to reach the body's extremities, including the legs. The outcome is numbness, tingling, and sometimes persistent cramps. In the long run, this poor circulation leads to weaker muscles, reduced mobility, and increased risk of falls. All this while we think we're just enjoying a treat. Moreover, commercial ice creams include artificial coloring agents, emulsifiers, and thickeners that worsen internal inflammation. This silent inflammation is one of the leading contributors to muscle and joint tissue damage. Frequent consumption of these desserts triggers digestive and hormonal imbalances that directly affect how the body absorbs the nutrients needed for muscle strength. Without those vital nutrients, the body can't stay strong or stable for long. Another important factor is that these meals offer no true nutritional value. Loaded with empty calories, they neither support muscle growth, repair tissues, nor nourish the joints. This means that even while enjoying something tasty, the sensation of fatigue remains and may even intensify. The effect on the legs is evident. Less tone, more frequent discomfort, and reduced endurance for physical activities. Every bite takes away a chance for the body to rebuild itself. 6. Whether as a dessert or a small indulgence during the day, milk chocolates are a regular part of many people's lives. But consistent consumption can bring more harm than it seems at first glance, especially to the legs of people over 60. High amounts of sugar and saturated fats in these chocolates fuel inflammatory reactions that directly affect muscles and joints. Elevated blood sugar combined with bad fats creates metabolic stress, leading to decreased muscle power. Another concern is the low cocoa percentage in milk chocolate, which eliminates most of the antioxidants found in pure cocoa. Most commercial options result in a heavily processed product packed with additives and artificial sweeteners. These elements not only strain the liver and pancreas, but also disturb the absorption of key nutrients necessary for muscle strength. The result is legs that feel drained and weak, more vulnerable to soreness and stiffness. The quick-digesting sugars in these chocolates trigger insulin spikes that deplete muscular energy. For individuals already struggling to maintain muscle mass, this imbalance is especially damaging. Additionally, milk chocolate has been linked to fat accumulation in the stomach area, which increases pressure on the lower body. This constant overload accelerates wear on the joints of the knees, hips, and ankles. However, healthier alternatives allow for enjoyment without the negative effects. Dark chocolates rich in cocoa content contain flavonoids and antioxidants that help with blood flow and muscular support. When consumed in moderation, they can even contribute to vascular health. The important thing is to make thoughtful choices and watch portion sizes. 5. While very practical, canned foods often contain ingredients that seriously threaten leg health in older age. Most of these products are made with synthetic preservatives such as sodium benzoate and nitrites, along with coloring agents, excess salt, and various chemicals. These compounds are highly inflammatory and negatively affect muscle and vascular health. Frequent consumption slows down muscle recovery and limits oxygenation of muscle tissue. The added salt in canned food also promotes water retention, which is a major cause of heavy, aching legs. This swelling brings pain and may also point to poor circulation and inflamed tissues, particularly in people over 60 with high blood pressure. The problem gets worse as excess sodium burdens the cardiovascular system and interferes with nutrient delivery to muscles. A further issue is the drop in overall nutrition found in canned items. Even canned vegetables and meats are processed in ways that remove much of their natural nutritional content. What remains is a diet poor in vitamins and minerals, yet full of harmful residues the body must work to eliminate. This added metabolic strain drains energy and reduces muscular efficiency. The fatigue and leg weakness you experience could be linked more closely to your food than you might think. Additionally, although present in small amounts, aluminum from certain cans can build up in the body over time. Studies suggest that regularly eating food stored in metal containers may impair muscle function and affect the nervous system. This raises the risk of imbalance, falling, and gradual muscle loss, a danger that isn't worth it considering the healthier options available. For people aiming to stay active, cutting out canned goods and switching to fresh, frozen, or naturally preserved foods is a key first step. Preparing meals with real ingredients and without artificial additives brings noticeable benefits to overall wellness almost immediately. It's also a decision that preserves your independence and quality of life as time progresses. If you think only processed foods harm your legs, know that there's still more to uncover. Very soon, we'll talk about the 2 most dangerous vitamins for muscle health. The truth behind these supplements might surprise you. For filled cookies and processed snacks are part of many people's daily treats. However, once past 60, consuming them can accelerate the weakening of leg strength. These foods act as real threats to the body, loaded with artificial additives such as colorings, flavor enhancers, preservatives, and stabilizers. They not only irritate the system but also place strain on key organs like the liver and kidneys, directly interfering with circulation and the absorption of essential nutrients for muscles. These products lack minerals, proteins, and fiber, while being dense in calories. In other words, they deliver a lot of energy with very little nutrition. For older adults, this is especially risky since the body no longer stores nutrients as efficiently as in youth. A more complete, nutrient-dense diet is necessary to counteract the natural loss of muscle mass caused by aging. Consuming items rich in sugars, hydrogenated fats, and sodium only speeds up this deterioration. Another major concern is trans fats, the type of fat often used in these snacks. This synthetic fat is one of the primary contributors to inflammation in modern diets. It not only clogs blood vessels but also reduces the delivery of oxygenated, nutrient-rich blood to muscle tissues. This poor circulation in the legs leads to discomfort, fatigue, and at times, a sense of instability when walking. The frailty builds up gradually and quietly. On top of that, the excessive sodium content in these foods causes water retention, which worsens swelling in the lower limbs. Swollen legs are clear signs of an underlying issue. A poor diet, coupled with impaired blood flow, creates the ideal environment for the development of varicose veins, chronic pain, and heaviness while walking. All of this can originate from seemingly harmless snacks. These cookies and processed bites also spike blood sugar followed by sharp drops, weakening the body and sparking constant hunger. This harmful cycle drains muscular energy and encourages weight gain. The more you depend on such foods, the harder it becomes to preserve strong, healthy, and functional legs in everyday life. Simply switching to natural bars can already shift this entire scenario. 3. From instant seasonings and quick-cook noodles to meat bouillon, powdered soups, and frozen ready-to-eat dishes, industrial foods are often loaded with monosodium glutamate. While it's meant to enhance taste, its effects on the human body extend far beyond flavor. For individuals over 60, regular consumption of monosodium glutamate can be quite damaging, particularly for the muscles in the legs. This compound interferes with key neurotransmitters that control muscle contractions via the nervous system. People who are more sensitive to this ingredient may experience muscular pain, headaches, tingling sensations, and overall fatigue. When these symptoms show up in the legs, they bring on heaviness, stiffness, and sometimes subtle tremors. As the body becomes more vulnerable to excitotoxic agents that harm neurons, the problem worsens with age. Additionally, monosodium glutamate induces chronic inflammation in the body, affecting muscles, joints, and blood circulation. This inflammation interferes with both muscle function and oxygen flow to the limbs. Poor oxygenation in the legs greatly increases the risk of muscle weakness, cramps, and reduced mobility. Many foods containing this additive are also relatively high in salt, which adds to water retention and leg swelling. Furthermore, this chemical disrupts energy metabolism, altering how muscles consume glucose. This diminishes the muscle's efficiency in converting fuel into strength, compromising leg performance even in simple tasks like climbing stairs or walking short distances. Over time, this diet may lead to a loss of muscle mass and increased reliance on others for everyday tasks. Many people are unaware of their constant consumption of monosodium. Labels often hide it under several terms, such as flavor enhancer, yeast extract, hydrolyzed protein, and other scientific phrases that mask its true impact. Therefore, it's essential to choose natural seasonings like fresh herbs, garlic, onion, lemon, and olive oil, rather than relying on ultra-processed foods and artificial flavorings. Now, we will reveal the 2 most dangerous vitamins that, when taken in excess, could compromise your leg strength. Second, excess vitamin A. Vitamin A is crucial for several bodily functions, such as vision, immune function, and skin health. However, excessive intake, especially from supplements, can be harmful and lead to a range of negative effects, including on leg muscles. After 60, the body finds it harder to process and eliminate excess vitamin A, leading to its accumulation in the liver and joints. One of the most common signs of hypervitaminosis A is muscle pain, especially in the legs and back, due to inflammation of the muscle tissue. This discomfort can often be mistaken for joint or spine issues. Besides pain, signs that the body's nutritional balance has been disturbed include muscle weakness, difficulty climbing stairs, walking, or getting up from a seated position. Too much vitamin A also interferes with the absorption of other essential minerals, such as magnesium and calcium. Without these minerals, muscles cannot contract and relax effectively, leading to fatigue, spasms, and leg cramps. Additionally, vitamin A buildup in the liver can disrupt energy production, which weakens muscle function. This results in a gradual decline in mobility and strength. Excessive vitamin A also causes bone demineralization, particularly in the legs and hips, which are heavily used in daily activities. This weakens the bones and increases the risk of fractures. This effect is even more severe for individuals with osteopenia or osteoporosis. As a result, vitamin A supplements should only be taken under medical supervision and in regulated doses. One of the main causes of these hidden issues is self-medication, naturally occurring in foods like liver, egg yolk, whole milk, carrots, and pumpkin. Vitamin A from a balanced diet eliminates the need for supplementation. The danger lies in excessive intake, especially from fortified foods or potent supplements. Therefore, the total intake, including multivitamins, should be carefully monitored. First, while vitamin D is often associated with bone health and immune system function, excess amounts, particularly from supplementation, can have severe consequences even on the legs. Hypervitaminosis D, resulting from the buildup of too much vitamin D in the body, is a common issue. One of its main symptoms is muscle pain, accompanied by weakness and loss of coordination. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, vitamin D is fat-soluble and gets stored in fat tissue. Excess vitamin D can lead to increased calcium levels in the blood, a condition known as hypercalcemia. This causes leg stiffness, muscle burning, cramps, joint pain, and other related symptoms. Hypercalcemia directly affects the muscles and nerves, impairing the electrical signals that control movement. In addition, too much vitamin D can lead to calcification of soft tissues, such as muscles and tendons. This means that areas like the knees, calves, and thighs may become stiffer, less flexible, and painful under effort. What should be a protective vitamin instead becomes a cause of discomfort and limitation. Older adults who consume high amounts of vitamin D without proper medical guidance are at a greater risk of encountering these issues. Another concerning factor is that excessive doses of vitamin D can damage the kidneys, which are responsible for maintaining the mineral balance in the blood. Inadequate filtration and the retention of substances indicate the renal impact, which worsens leg edema, muscle discomfort, and a sense of weakness. This creates a harmful cycle. More vitamin D leads to more calcium, less kidney function, and increased muscle problems. Vitamin D supplementation should always be adjusted based on laboratory tests and professional advice. Therefore, it is essential to emphasize this point. Many people assume that taking large quantities of vitamin D is beneficial for their health and do so on their own. However, too much can be as harmful as insufficient amounts. For the legs, this can lead to a loss of movement and independence. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as it was created to help you improve your health and enhance your quality of life. If you want to continue receiving the best videos for your health, go ahead and subscribe. Assisting you is my mission. The video currently playing on your screen discusses the 3 essential vitamins every diabetic should take. Watch it by clicking on the screen. Until the next video.